In today's video, we're going to have a look at the Mould Tools toolbar. So here I have a part that I've pre-made. This is my plastic part that I want to cover in a core and cavity. So I've got a hole in the item, and before I start putting together my core and cavity, I need to do a draft analysis. So let's have a look at the part to make sure it's tooling ready. So I need to look for draft. I'm going to draft from this face at the bottom, and I'm looking for positive and negative draft. Positive draft being green, negative draft being red, and anything with no draft is going to be yellow. So I want to eradicate anything yellow. So at the moment we're analysing to 1 degree of draft. So anything of 1 degree or higher is highlighted. If I change this number, go to 0.5 degrees, it should show me anything that doesn't meet criteria. So we're okay at 0.5, so let's try 2 degrees. And now the hole at the center of my part has highlighted an area that requires draft. So there's less than 2 degrees draft on this specific part of the hole. But I know I can get away with 2 degrees, less than 2 degrees. So back to 1 degree. I know it's got some draft on there. I know it's a low risk area of my molded part, and I'm happy that I can carry on. Okay, so now back to the Mould Tools toolbar. Let's turn draft off into Mould Tools. Okay, so let's start with a parting line. So let's select parting line. And now I need to pick basically what's going to be a split line. So I'm going to split the part, select this thing from this face here. So we've highlighted the face. We can do another draft analysis here if we like. So from this face, we can pre-check, do the same draft analysis that we've already done, look for anything yellow. Again, it's highlighted that the hole is going to be a problem at 2 degrees. My split line is going to be along the outside. Let's change this to 1 degree, as we just showed. Reanalyze, everything goes the right color. And we need to ensure that we have the use for core and cavity option turned on, because this is going to help us identify the split between the core and the cavity. So now we need to have a look at the shut off surfaces option. So let's click this. And we've already pre-selected an edge. So anything with a hole in it needs to be covered. So basically the core and the cavity know that they're going to meet at this point inside the part. So what this feature is going to do is it's going to allow us to create a face temporary surface here. So it can be the options at the bottom. We can have contact or we can have tangent. This is a flat face, so we're going to select contact. We can choose no fill if we want to ignore, but we do need to take this into account. So let's contact, OK, and it's created a surface. But it's not just created a surface here. So you can see over on the left hand side we have some surfaces and we have one solid. So the solid is our original part and the surfaces are the initial outlines for our core and cavity. So let's turn the solid off. So we have a green part and a red part. So this is our core, the green part, this green surface, and the red surface, we'll call that our cavity. And you can see the indentation has been added. for the hole. Okay, so let's turn the surfaces off so we don't get confused here. Right, the next option we need to select is the parting surface option. This is basically going to create a contact between the core and the cavity. So we've selected the same surface at the base. This has referenced the parting line that we drew previously. We're going to use perpendicular to pull. Normally you're going to use perpendicular to pull as an option. Parting line is pre-selected and it's extruded. We'll leave it unsmooth. The parting line surface is set to 1.9 extruded. Let's just round it up to 2 millimeters. Maybe try 1. Okay, and this option down here is not so relevant because we've got a nice rounded part, but we could have a smooth edging or we could have sharp corners. Doesn't really matter. I've just set it to 0.5, but we're going to ignore it realistically. So here is my parting surface. So there's a slight extrusion from the outside, another surface added to the surface bodies, and this basically is a reference item for what we are about to do next when we create a tooling split. So let's turn that surface off. So tooling split, select this option. In fact, no, we don't need to select this option now. We need to draw a reference plane first. So let's come out of this option. So I need to go and draw a reference plane. That's fine. Where are the references? I think they're over in features actually. Let's go to the features toolbar. Reference geometry, plane. Okay, let's offset a plane from the base, from our parting line. And let's make it minimal. We need to offset a plane to start drawing our outline for our core and cavity. Okay, so you can see I'm offset by 3 mil here. Let's accept that. Okay, so now let's draw on this plane. Mold tools, tooling split. Let's realign so we can see what we're doing. Okay, and now let's sketch a box. Basically our outline. It's got to be bigger than our part, bigger than our flange. So let's just get this right. Let's put some offset dimensions in. This offset from here. Okay, let's put some more dimensions in just to make everything go black so we know everything's fully defined. Let's just putting a line of symmetry into the part. Last dimension. Okay, let's make all these dimensions equal. Okay, last dimension, make that equal. So we know we've got a even offset around the part. Okay, so we've selected the tooling split and it's already populated the core, cavity and parting surface options because of what we've already set up. So, but we can change the block sizes. So we've got 5 and 15. So it's 5 in the one arrow direction and 15 in the double arrow direction, you can see. So this will encompass the core and cavity. You can change which parts are the cores and the cavity. So everything we've done now is basically prep work to make this work. So I've not selected the interlock surface, so we need an interlock surface, and that just gives us a slight offset from the plane that we've drawn from, and 3 degrees gives us a slight taper on that. Okay, so it's worked. So it doesn't look very exciting, it looks like we've just drawn a block, but there's more to it, I assure you. Let's change the colours so that we can see more clearly what's going on here. Okay, let's turn one of these solids off. Get rid of that sketch. Okay, so let's turn the top part off. So you can see I've got the original part and the core. And if we remove the part, here's the core on its own. We still have reference surfaces, but none of them are highlighted. Let's have a look at the cavity. And here is our cavity. So we've got our recess for our hole, or extrusion in this case. As we put the part back in, you can see it fits quite snugly. We turn both parts back on. Let's just cut a plane, and you can see, when I line this up properly, you can see just how the part is covered. And there you go. The part in blue, the core in red, and the cavity in yellow. And that is a basic core and cavity.